my 2005 PT Cruiser. You either love them or you hate them. I absolutely love mine, but I'm having an issue with it right now. My top is not going down. I've had this problem before, and I'll show you how I fixed it. So here's the problem. We release the top, we hit the down button here. You hear the motor running, but the top's not moving. First thing we need to do is pop the trunk. Hit your button here. So right up here in your trunk is a screw. So this releases the hydraulics on the top so you can manually take your top up and down. Now we can release our top, give it a push, and it goes down for you. The reason I take the top down is I want to take these tabs out right here for this plastic piece. It's a whole lot easier to do with the top down. A couple of small flathead screwdrivers and we can pull these loose. Slide them in and pop them right out. The reason I'm taking this off now is under here is your pump, and we're going to have to put some more fluid in the pump when we finish, and I don't want to forget to do this later. This will make it a whole lot easier to remove this piece. One of the first things we're going to do is pull this back seat out. Let's look at how to do that. Go to your trunk, right here is the knob, give it a little pull, it releases the back seat. Tilt your seat forward and right here you'll want to remove this bolt. This strap, all it does is when the seat tilts up, it holds it in place. We want to take this seat out, it makes it a whole lot easier. So let's get that bolt out real quick. We removed our bolt. Having a magnetic tray to keep your bolts in will be nice. Take your seat, flip it forward, and pull, and it just pops right out from back here when you pull. So now let's put this in the shop until we're finished. After we get this bolt out, we need to take the one here for your rear seat belt out. This bolt was a 1/2. This bolt is a 13/16, and score, somebody on the car before me lost their pocket knife. Easy enough. Now we want to pull this rear panel off. Right here is a Phillips head screw. We want to take that out and come around here in the actual door. This is a little push pin. It's plastic, so you just want to pry it out. It's kind of dry rotting in bad shape, but I was able to get the other one out and put this back, and then we'll peel this rubber off of here. So grab some needle nose pliers to pull this out. I didn't have good luck like I did last time. I'll have to replace it this time. And here's the screw. Relatively easy to get this screw out, just a Phillips head. Now we should be able to just pry this out here. Pry your rubber up. You just want it to come loose from your door is all, so that this piece will move. You want to take this piece out right here. You should be able to take a screwdriver, pop this right out, pull it, comes right loose. One thing I forgot to do is right up under here is a little pull tab. It is one of these, so we need to pop that out. One of the things we're going to need to do is take this headrest off back here, so let's look at how to do that. So come right back here behind your headrest, and this piece right back here, you can just peel it back now, and right here there's a 1/2 inch screw. I've already loosened it up, so you remove it. There's another one on this side. Put them in here. Now there's another bolt here and one right behind this seat, so make sure this seat folds forward so you can access it over here. Let's remove those. Now, before you can pull this out, you need to pop these off right here. So pop this up, grab this one and pop it off. Once you take them out, you can lift this piece off. Now let's drag it around here and get it out of our way. Now that we remove this piece, you can access this pin here I was talking about. And let's pull this one out also. To get in here, to pop it out. If we can work that out. Let's peel this up. Now to get this out, give it a little bit of a tug, it should slip from right underneath, come out from right underneath here, okay? I'm gonna put the camera down so I can push down. I wanna push down here as I pull, so I need to put the camera down to do that. All right, let me let you take a look at this. So you've got this edge here, and you've got the edge here that you gotta get out from underneath here. So this will pull forward. So now that we've got this out, peel it back. Here's your cylinder right in here for your top. You can't take it out with the top down, so let's put the top up so we can get it out. So remember, we got the screw loose up under the trunk, took the pressure off the top, so all we got to do now is push the top back up again. We want to grab it and just push it back to close it. Let's go ahead and latch it so we don't forget to do that later. You are definitely going to need one of these headlights to be able to see in here. This makes working so much easier. Here's your hydraulic arm, and you can see all the fluids leaking out down here, so the seal's blown in it. We need to remove this screw, and we need to remove this screw to get it out. So let's take those out. So we want to pull this screw out right here, and it's a 5mm on it, and this is I think it's a hex head here that I've got, and we'll just unscrew it. I'm going to put this down so I don't lose the screw. So this is our front screw here. All right, the rear screw is a little more difficult to get to because you got this piece of metal in the way. So just take your time so you don't strip this thing out. Let's pull it out of there. So here's our rear screw, and you can see all the fluid on it. That's why the seals have busted in this, come loose. And when I took the other side out and changed it, when I got on the website to buy them, they said replace them both at the same time. That old pay me now or pay me later. So now here I am 3 months later pulling the other side out because the other seals have busted. Let's pull this out of here so we can look at it. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. I may have to put this down to pull it out of here. Here we go. There we go. So look at the orientation of it. These pieces attached to the bottom. Look how it's in here. And let's pull it on out so that you can see what it looks like, so you know how to put it back in, okay? Now, all we need to do is take these off. There's a little pin right here. We're going to take a little screwdriver and we're going to push that little pin forward, and these will pop out. Be very careful. You don't want to damage the ends of these, and you don't want to damage this cylinder in here, because you got to send this cylinder in for a replacement. So let's get a screwdriver and pop these out. There's one back here, and you can see all the fluid leaking out back here. A lot of people say don't lose these little pieces right here, but these pieces come with your new one when it shows up. I think you might have seen the one on this side fell out and dropped down in there. So let's get a little screwdriver and take those out. I ain't sure if you guys can see what I'm doing or not, but we'll try. So this little piece right here, we're going to catch this little clip, hold our thumb on it so we don't lose it. We're going to pull forward. If you guys can see this little piece right here, it's pushing up on it here, it pops out, and it's got a little Y shape on the end, so we want to hang on to that, and then you grab, let me put the screwdriver down here without losing it. So we take this little piece and pull it out, and there goes all our oil scooting out everywhere, hydraulic fluid. I should have had a rag before I did that, my bad. Let's put this piece away before we actually lose it here. There's another one down here. We're going to push this out right here the same way. Let's push it loose. And it flew off and went down here, but we'll find it in just a minute. Michelle, you out here? Yeah. Go in my building and get me some of them blue rags, please, before I get this all over me in the car. Okay, look at the orientation of it. This piece is on the bottom. You got your two holes in it. Make sure your hoses, long hose goes in the front here, the short one in the back, and it goes in like this. So let's send it off and get a replacement. Working on it this way, now the car is drivable. The seat belt's still going to work. You just won't be able to use the back seat. Nobody will be able to ride in it. Seat belts won't work here. And wrap your cylinder up to protect it, because we're going to mail this cylinder back in to the company when we get our new one. So here's where I'm ordering mine from, Top Hydraulics. And you can find them online. Their website is Top Hydraulics. So they've got a core exchange available for PT Cruiser. It's $160. Mine's a 2005. This one will fit a 2004 to 2008. And for $160, you can send yours in and have it rebuilt, or $200, they'll mail one to you. They'll keep a $150 deposit, and then when you mail your core back, they'll send it to you. And it asks you which one you have, which of these cylinders you have, A, B, or C. So if you look right here on your cylinder, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there's a lot of writing here, and mine is a C at the end. That same number is here. This hydraulic cylinder will fit all three of them. So we're going to pick, I want a core exchange from inventory, and I'm going to order one of them. Let's add it to the cart, and then I will get a refund of $150. And I've done this with them before, and when I send this one back in and they'll check it, as long as it's not damaged, and it should not be, then they'll refund the $150 to me. It's quick. I got this thing in a couple of days last time I did this. So let's go ahead and order this, and I'm going to turn this off now. But just so you know where to go, where to get it at. This is what you'll get from Top Hydraulics. This only took 4 days from the time I ordered it. It was in my mailbox. So you're going to get the box to ship it back in already addressed to them, and you do have to pay for shipping to return it. Well, let's see what they put in here. Remember the piece I lost here, dropped down in the car? You get new ends when this does come. And you get these tiny little rubber grommets, and these go here. I'll show you right here. So remember this little piece here that goes in the bottom of the cylinder? The little rubber piece goes right there. Now, when I got it, I thought, wow, they sent 4 of them. I'm not sure where to put 4 of them at. They send you 4 because you're going to do the same thing I did. When you try to put these on, you're going to drop them and lose them. In a dark car, down in all those holes, I lost 2 and only had 2 left to install it. So you definitely need more than one of these, so do be careful putting them on. So this is basically what you're getting here, a new cylinder. If you're wondering how long it takes to take this out, it takes me about 10 minutes to disassemble the back of the car and actually get this out of the car. Probably looking at about 10 to 15 to put it back in, but after we reinstall it, then we are going to have to put fluid in the reserve tank and then reprime it and get it going, and I'll show you that also. This is the fluid I used in my motor, and I got this, I think it was AutoZone. I went down and grabbed this. You are definitely going to need one of these, and it's a cook mint, a marinade injector. You can get this on Amazon. I think it was like $7, but this is what you get right here, and you are definitely going to need this. I went to the local little store where you buy fish. I don't remember the name of it here, but this is just the hose that you hook to your aerator and send water into your fish tank. I do not know what size it is, but it fits on here just perfect. Do be careful, that is very sharp, okay, while you're putting it on. So I've seen people do this many ways, refilling this little tank, and it is very difficult to get this little hose up in there, but you can do it, and this makes it really fast and really easy. It's worth the investment. Get on Amazon and find you one of these. Time to begin putting our cylinder back in. We just pull this out of the way, and here are the hoses we're going to attach to. So what I did is I cleaned them off, and then this one right here, see how I slid that little rubber grommet on the top? I did not put it on this one because last time I knocked it off installing this one. So only put your back one on first. Be easier to put your back one in first because you can maneuver it around a little better back here, and then to get the front one. You'll see when we go to put it in, it slips in this way and it's hard to get in here, but you can tilt your, well, let me grab the piece here. Our cylinder goes in like this, and as you see, the back one needs to go in first because you've got to get back here to install it. So let me show you a little tool I made real quick to put these in. Remember when we pop these off, these are gonna slip on here to put this together, but I made a little tool. I took an old screwdriver, and let me see if I can get some more, you can see it. See how I took my grinder and I curved that thing in right there? This little piece here that snaps in, I am going to insert it here. That way I can catch it and push it in a whole lot easier. And this little tool, it'll grab right in there. If you can see how that's in there. The lighting is bad in here, but I just took an old screwdriver and made that. I hope I've got the camera propped up so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've got the rubber grommet on here. We're gonna slip it into position here. Got it snapped up in there. Let's try to insert this thing in. Goes inside, goes in that groove there. See how that goes in? It's gonna fit right in there. Let's push it forward, get it started there. The camera moved. You guys didn't get to see that. So that's how it looks when you put it back in, if you can see that. I just used the little tool that I've got here. You get it all the way in and it snaps in. Not that hard to push once you get it all the way in place. Let's do the other one. And these blue shop rags are great for cleaning these parts. I should have already done that. Said it has the flange on it. It's got a flat side and a high side. We're gonna just start it just a little bit. So we start it just a little bit to have it going, but not in our way. And we're gonna insert this in. Push it all the way up inside there. It's just got to go a tiny bit more. There it went. So it snapped in there. I hope you guys can see that. See how that snapped in nice and tight. Check them, both of them are in there nice and tight. Now we'll insert it just like so. Slide it up in there. And let's put this front screw in here first. And our shorter screw was the front screw. You can see we've got it lined up. Got it inserted. So get it in there where it won't come back out, and we're gonna need a little wiggle room in it so we can get this back one in. So make sure your wires are down out of the way as we slide this back one into position so that we can slip this bolt in. This one's a little more difficult to do. You can't really see in here, so I'm just kind of doing it by feel, trying to find my way through. So there, I've got the bolt started, got it through the cylinder. Make sure our hoses aren't hung in there. All right, back one's tight. Let's tighten the front one up now. So our hoses are free. All right, let's close this back up. Now, before we go to all the trouble to put this back together, let's make sure our top functions first. So, let's come right back here. The battery died on me. This is just a piece of molded carpet. There's Velcro on the left and right. Just peel that Velcro up. This piece of carpet slips out, and put this out of the way. You can reinstall it after we finish. This piece right here pops right out, and there is your motor for your top. So here's your pump, and here's your cylinder, and you can see there's no fluid in it. It all pumped out through that bad cylinder that I had. So we're going to take this screw out right here, and we're going to fill this back up. One of the things I do is I have a bucket in here, and I am going to put some of this fluid in this jar to do this, because last time I turned this thing over and spilled it. So I'm going to use this as a second layer of protection to keep from getting it in the car. The same tool that puts your cylinder in will take this out. Ooh, that's kind of tight. So let's pull that out of there. Let's set our screw back here so we don't lose it. Stuff some shop rags in around here, because you're going to spill some of this stuff while we're putting this in. So let's get our tube stuck in here. Tube we got from the fish store here. So it's got to go in this hole and then turn to the right really sharp. So it's kind of hard to put it up in there, which makes it really difficult to fill this thing. So we want to get this to go in, try to get it in that hole in there. Oh, there we go. We got it slid in there. So let's push that down in there. So our tube's down in here now. And like I say, it goes in, turns to the right, and slides in. This stuff makes it so much easier to do this. So let's put our fluid into our jar so we can work with it. Now let's take a turkey baster. Let's put it in here. And let's pull some fluid up in it. Just clean it off. So now we got it full of fluid. Let's come back up here. So let's insert this in here. Guys, please be careful, that is sharp. I just wiggle it around a little bit, get it up in there. There we go, that's all we need. Now, we are going to begin to put our fluid in here. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I'm just squeezing this in. This is a really easy way to do it. Okay, do not take your hose out, it's difficult to put in. Pull it off of here, leave it there on your shop rags, and refill it. Okay, as you can see, 4 1/4 of this syringe has got it full to this point, but now we need to get some in the line. So let's start the car, and let's kind of operate the top a little bit, and this will suck in the lines, and we'll have to put more in it. Make sure you came to the trunk and you tighten this screw back up right here. Remember, we open this so we can manually do the trunk. Now screw it back in so it's nice and tight. Now let's get to work on our top. Unhook our top, and we're just going to mess with the top just for a minute. I'm just kind of bumping it, and you can hear it running back here. All right, we squeezed a little bit more fluid in it. Let's bump the top again. So we've got plenty of fluid in the motor. Let's do our top some more. And there we go. Put it back up. Clean that up, put our top back in here. Just tighten that back down. That's why we put our shop towels in. You can see how we spilled it, but we do not have it in the back of the car here. And let's reinstall this, and it tells you how to put it in. So let's operate our top a little bit and make sure our top's going to work before we put the side panel back on. Top seems to be working fine. So just do the reverse to put it back together. So go ahead and put your carpet piece back in back here, and then let's snap these little plastic pieces back in. And after we do that, we will put our piece back on here for the seat belt. We'll come up here, put this piece back in. We'll snap all this back together here and put our rubber back in place. Move that. We'll put our rubber back in place. We'll drop the seat back in the same way it came out, and we'll bolt the seat in right here. And that's pretty much it. That's how you do your top. So this back here, I think took me maybe 10 minutes to put that in there. Gonna take me probably another 10 minutes to put this stuff back together. It shouldn't take long at all. So altogether, you're looking at maybe 35-40 minutes to repair this. Now, after I do all this and I put the top down, I'll put the headrest back on, put that plastic piece back in place and snap it in with the top down. And if you don't think it's easier to do it this way, I did it the other way and it was so difficult. This is so much easier. But so that's how you replace the cylinder on your top.